#1 Virginia back in 1982 at the Blaisdell Arena in Honolulu. So the tip about to go up in the air here at Lahaina Civic Center. And the Irish will win the tip, and they'll control here first in what Mike Bray, head coach for Notre Dame, referred to as the Catholic Championship in the state of Hawaii.
Well, I'll tell you this. If you didn't know who was Notre Dame and who was a Division II school, in terms of physical size, Chaminade's right there with it.
And right off the bat, Matt Farrell knocks down the jump shot from long distance.
Here's what you love about Farrell. He is all energy. He comes out, he's hyped up, he pounds the ball when he dribbles it, he gets everybody going, he jumps up on his jump shot.
Grant Dressler for Chaminade, wild shot in the lane, and the first of, I'm sure, many rebounds for Mr. Colson.
You know, the thing that Notre Dame did right there is they did not help off Dressler. They made him make the shot, not kick it out for an easy three.
Silver Swords now coming the other way. Both teams without a loss here in the early going of this season. In low, it goes to Eric Shive. Ball now works up top to Dantley Walker. Now the drive by Austin Pope. Out to Braden Colliker, and he's true from three, a transfer from Colorado State.
And he's a terrific shooter, but Notre Dame just did exact opposite. They helped off of a shooter instead of making Chaminade in the lane make buckets over people. They gave up a step-up three, which every kid in college basketball can make.
First made three of this young season for big Braden Colliker. Meanwhile, it's TJ Gibbs from straight away, unable to hit. So the Silver Swords get into their offense. It'll be Pope from the right corner. And a little long there, but good scramble for the rebound. And another possession here, quickly stolen away by Rex Pfluger. Ahead to Colson, who throws it down.
Yeah, pretty easy. Pfluger is one of those guys that the ball finds, or he finds the ball, however you want to describe it. He was making that pass. He knew where Colson was before he got the loose ball. Colson, easy finish.
Here's Dantley Walker. All of his jump shots this season have come from outside the arc, and he's true there.
Mike Bray, back in the day, Mike Bray would have gone insane over that because they let Walker catch and shoot. You have to make Walker put the ball on the floor because, as you said, this is the only thing he does. That's it.
He's now 8 of 18 from the land of three. Notre Dame now into its offensive set. Colson, this is something he's been working on here for the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, he's just... Mike Bray's guys just get better. They stay. He stays old. He has old Farrell. He has old Colson. So what happens, you stay in a program, you get better, you add to your game. The three-point is what Colson has added.
Colson, 6'6" senior. Didn't seem like there was much room for improvement in his game. He's such a well all-around player, but he has added a few dimensions, certainly offensively. Notre Dame off the takeaway. Farrell stopping and popping and knocking down the triple.
Well, how dangerous is that? Yeah, how dangerous. In transition, they run to the three-point line. Farrell has 2 buckets already. Colson with a 3. Just so dangerous, so well-schooled.
Thoughts on the pace here so far?
Well, I think it's a pace that fits Notre Dame, but...
As Shive knocks down the 3. Are you kidding me?
Again, I get in arguments with guys all the time. They say back in the day, guys used to shoot better. That is complete garbage. Everybody on this court can make threes when you allow them to step in.
Well, Farrell hit a couple from long range and then able to finish up close.
Somebody's going to have to get in front of Farrell. Farrell is feeling it. Farrell is on it. Farrell is quicker than everybody because he's playing harder.
Another turnover there for the Silver Swords. Both teams 3 for 4 from outside the arc to start. Farrell trying to add to that.
He thought he had that, too. I was watching. He was backing up. He thought he had that thing dead in.
Walker dared to shoot it, and he sticks it.
When's the last time you saw somebody break ankles of a defender with a shot and ball fake? You always see it with a crossover. He broke Farrell's ankles just by faking.
Walker, 5'10" senior from Panaca, Nevada. Transfer from UNLV. Loves it outside the arc, as we have already mentioned. There's Pfluger on the backdoor cut. And it gets deflected out of bounds. It'll stay here with Notre Dame.
Hey, how much fun is this? Watch this. Shot fake. Ball fake. Shot fake. Ankles broke. Shot up. Whop.
All history.
You know, one of the things that makes it so big, beating Virginia in '82 and Ralph Sampson, is that it wasn't a one-and-done era. Guys stayed a long time.
We got an offensive foul called against Pfluger. And digging in there and taking it for Chaminade, Braden Colliker. And here is Merv Lopes, who was the head coach for Chaminade at that time, who helped pull off that upset over Ralph Sampson and that Virginia team.
I got to know a couple of his friends, Tate Slock being one of them, Norm Ellenberger, and it was a shock to everybody in the country, but it wasn't a shock in terms of how well Chaminade would play under Merv Lopes. He was considered among coaches as good as any.
Nice takeaway here by Farrell, and he's able to just about dunk it in. He's got 10.
You know, Farrell dunked one late and hung on the rim against Chicago State, and guys were making fun of him, saying he was in real trouble.
Three try by Nick Anderson draws nothing, and then the block by Colson on the freshly inserted Brett Reed. Take another look at Farrell moments ago.
Yeah, pretty good. He reads a pass and it just comes up and makes a steal. And again, he dunked it a little bit and hung on the rim against Chicago State. That time couldn't quite get up. Island legs. Is that what it is? Is it island legs? What, you know, in the sand, the surf?
You probably have some of those sea legs after spending all that time on the boat.
Tell you what, that's a nice place to be.
Here's Colliker working against Elijah Burns, who just checked in during the timeout. Turnaround shot by Justin Bridges, and that didn't draw any iron. It goes out of bounds.
Hey, there's nothing better than being on a boat in Maui with Billis. I mean, I'm king of the world right here, people. Jeez. They should put Eat It Joe's on my backside. It's getting so wide. I tell you, man, we've had a great time, and he's going anywhere he wants.
Yeah, he's got 12. Matt Farrell, who is averaging 15 a game, that's third on the team.
If he misses, it's not because of the defense. It's because he just missed a shot. He's going anywhere he wants, really comfortable.
Nice drive there by Austin Pope going to work against Farrell.
6'5", skinny, and he just got in the lane and lifted up.
Starting point guard for Chaminade, Eric Bovaird says, as Austin Pope goes, we go. Averaging just under 10 points per.
That should be offensive. Yeah, good call. Happened to be watching that. Elijah Burns just, trying to step in post on, I think it was Cole. Yeah, he just stepped in. Watch this here. You can see bottom right. Steps in, a little bit of a flop maybe. Referee right there.
Give a little check there to Braden Colliker. How about the outfit here for Mike Bray? He's in the relaxed mode here on the sideline in Maui.
He's coaching the AAU game right now. He's just another one at 8.
Open look here coming up for Bridges. Can't hit. And the rebound corralled by John Mooney for Notre Dame.
I'm a big John Mooney fan. I thought he was exceptionally good in practice yesterday, going to the rim. Really made it hard on the first team.
Reach-in foul on Bridges. And there is Mike Bray just living the island life.
I figure he'd need a towel around his neck, something maybe. He's going to have to. He is not stressing. He was great at the banquet last night, just making jokes, laughing. You said the Catholic.
That's right. He's called because these are two Catholic universities, yeah. So the Catholic School Championship of the state of Hawaii is what Mike Bray referred to it as. Chaminade trying to leak out with the lead pass to Eric Shive, a little too far for Shive to track down. So Notre Dame basketball.
That's a bad pass, right? You know, you sit there and you go, all right, I don't want that pass from Anderson, but here's why it wasn't a bad pass. He threw it out of bounds. He didn't throw it short. If you throw it short and it gets stolen, now here comes Notre Dame the other way. By throwing it where only your man can get it. It wasn't a great pass. It's a turnover. You can't have it. But at least you threw it to your own man.
Three ball by DJ Harvey.
Love DJ Harvey. DJ Harvey, number 3 out of DeMatha High School, is going to be an absolute superstar here at Notre Dame. Great body, shoots it well. 16 minutes in his first game, gets 7 points against DePaul. Good defender, moves his feet. I think he's terrific.
Yeah, coming off of a career 16-point performance against Chicago State in 22 minutes. So already starting to see his playing time increase here in the early part of the season. Farrell drew the contact. Goes sliding into the seats. He'll get free throws out of this one. Well, we are now 2+ games into our coverage of the 2017 Maui Jim Maui Invitational. We got another game coming your way later tonight. Michigan and LSU. Big Ten and SEC matchup right here on ESPNU. You know a little something about that Wolverine team. One of the great stories of last college basketball season.
You know, my son was on the team last year, and before the Big Ten tournament, they got in a plane crash. I mean, they ran off the runway over a ditch. Everybody there referred to, don't tell me it's sliding off the runway. That was a crash. In their practice gear, they show up and win the tournament. And John Beilein and his staff just did a great job with the players. The leadership of the players were fantastic. So we're going to see them in the second game, and they're going to play an LSU team that is good and tough and rejuvenated under first-year coach Will Wade.
Farrell goes 1 of 2 from the line. So Gibbs back into the game. Farrell will get a breather. Your son Andrew, who actually made the decision to transfer as a grad transfer to Ohio State. How'd that sit with some of the Michigan peeps?
Not well enough. He went back for a ring ceremony, and a couple guys wanted to fight him. Thank God for Mo Wagner at 6'9", Duncan Robinson. My son is like his father. He may have a big mouth, but he hangs around with big guys, so it works well.
4-point lead here for Notre Dame, closing in on 12 minutes to play in the opening frame.
This is what I like. Now, this is when you need a bucket. This is where Notre Dame's going to go all year. Right there, left block, Bonzi Colson.
Colson out of New Bedford, Massachusetts, top rebounder. Second leading returning scorer in the ACC. Went for 17 and 10 last year. And it kind of boggles the mind. He is listed at 6'6". That may be charitable. It sort of boggles the mind how he's able to, against all of that size in the ACC, still dominate around the rim.
You know, he plays hard, and he uses his hips really well. He's not real strong in the legs, but he's strong in the hips.
Under 10 to shoot here on this possession. Pfluger, the hard drive. Wide open, Mooney. Got it.
Tell you what, he's a valuable player. Stretch 4, big, strong kid, not afraid, can go to the rim.
Averaging 5 points per game, just under 3 rebounds per outing. That's his third made 3 of the season. Here's Bridges trying to answer. And Colson taps it out of bounds. No, it'll be last touched by Chaminade. So Irish basketball when we come back. On the other side, we'll look a little further into.
Dan, and as I said earlier, basketball folks, guys that could really coach, Norm Ellenberger, Tate Slock, all these guys, tell you, man, one of the best basketball minds in the country, no blows.
It was certainly a joint effort from the Silver Swords that night. Richard Hainish, Tim Dunham, Tony Randolph, who had a team-high 19 points for the Silver Swords.
Well, what made it so great was Rob Sampson was a senior. Now, think about that. He would have been the first pick in the draft out of high school, but he stayed as a senior.
The block there by Colson on the turnaround shot by Shive. Pfluger trying to take it the distance.
Notre Dame, on this end, has done a much better job of staying with their own man. Chaminade's trying to get people to help. Right here, a little bit of help. You see Pfluger comes out with his hands up, and everybody right now is staying home on their man, making Chaminade's players beat them one-on-one. And it's changed the game.
Left it short there, rebound. Chased down by Pfluger. Shive, pretty big fella, 6'10", 240-pound junior from Marysville, California.
Yeah, Chaminade's a really good-looking team.
Colson, a good-looking shot from straight on.
And they don't have anybody like that, and they don't have anybody like Farrell.
Colson averaging 20 points and 11 boards here in this early portion of the season.
See, they're shooting in all kinds of traffic. How you beat it is by reversing the ball 2 or 3 times before you make a move. You spread the defense out. You just don't go off one pass and try to drive against quicker and bigger.
Irish on a 6-0 run. Colson the step back 3. And the rebound off the poke. This is going to be an open look for Dressler. Good closeout there by Pfluger. Wasn't open for long. Dressler turnaround shot, left it shy, and a lot of one and dones here for Chaminade.
That's it. Chaminade is going a little bit too quick. They can play at a fast pace, but the ball has got to go side to side and move the defense where they make a move.
It was a turnover for the Irish, and then T.J. Gibbs steals it right back on the outlet pass. Gibbs lost it out of bounds. It'll stay here with Notre Dame. Coverage of the Bad Boy Mowers Battle for Atlantis starts Wednesday with quarterfinal action. We'll see 3 top 20 teams. Number 2, Arizona, 5th ranked Villanova, and number 18, Purdue. The Bad Boy Mowers Battle for Atlantis.
That's such an awesome name. Hey, do not sleep on Purdue. If it's a second round match, Villanova and Purdue will be epic. Purdue just carved up Marquette earlier in the season in front of a huge crowd, pro-Marquette crowd on the road for Purdue. It was fantastic. As good effort as I've seen all year other than Duke.
How about Gibbs covering some mistakes once again for Notre Dame? That was yet another turnover that he took right back before Chaminade could even get into an offensive attack.
Yeah, twice he's done that. And then settled him down, got the ball where it needs to go.
Martinez Gebbin unable to hit from up close.
Chaminade needs to just take their time now and move the ball. Or go spinning down the lane and take a bad shot. One of the two.
Gebbin grabs the board. Here's Farrell going baseline. Draws the contact and draws the foul. Took it right into the 7-foot 1-inch body of Nate Pollard. Pollard, part of that basketball family. His uncle, former Kansas and 11-year NBA vet Scott Pollard.
Well, Pollard did not see Farrell coming. Farrell recognized it and went right into the body of Pollard. This will get out of control for Notre Dame against Chaminade if Chaminade doesn't figure out that they've got to move it, keep the ball above the foul line, move it, drive it to get to the rim and get to the rim only. Driving it into stuff and then trying to figure it out is not going to work against Notre Dame.
You see Matt Farrell from Bridgewater, New Jersey, all ACC honorable mention last year. Really burst on the scene, though, in the 2016 NCAA tournament when he was inserted into the starting lineup just to kind of provide a spark for this Notre Dame team, and boy, did it work.
It did, and they beat Michigan. Pfluger was really good in that game. Farrell really good in the game. Michigan had a lead, and those two guys, along with others, but those two guys out of nowhere kind of took over.
Well, Chaminade has gone now over 6 minutes without scoring. And at the 7:58 mark, it's a 10-point lead for Notre Dame. We'll see 3 top 20 teams on that side. Number 1, Duke. Number 7, Florida. And 17th ranked Gonzaga. And you'll be there.
Yeah, we will. We're going to, Billis, myself, Dan Sholin, we're going to catch a red eye and head to Portland. But, you know, Duke, to me, has the most impressive win of the year. I thought with Marvin Bagley out and Grayson Allen doing what he did with 37, I thought that was impressive. I've watched a lot of Ohio State. They're pretty good.
Pollard, did he get it off? They say he did, but the rebound off to Gebbin. And here comes Farrell looking to force the issue. And the group consolidating some of those first-place votes in the latest AP poll release. Nice looking square-up hit that time by Martinez Gebbin, 6'10" senior from Lithuania.
Notre Dame always has a guy that looks like Gebbin. Luke Herringody, who went to my high school, I knew the kid since he was 2, looked like Gebbin. Everybody looks like Gebbin at Notre Dame.
Good follow-up there. Brett Reed able to clean up the spill. Luke Herringody, part of that Notre Dame team that played here on Maui in 2008. Made it to the championship, lost to North Carolina in the final. Herringody hitting a 40-foot bank shot to beat the shot clock late in that game. Or in the semifinal win, I should say, over Texas.
Nobody would remember. Well, they helped off. He cannot do that. He missed, but Chaminade will take that shot, and Mike Gray doesn't want any help off people.
Well, Pfluger tried to go Euro step. He'll go to the free throw line.
If you're going to win this game or stay around this game and you're Chaminade, there is no, oh man, I missed an open shot. You have to make that shot. That's how upsets happen. All of a sudden, man, we hit 6 in a row. Not in and out, Not almost, you have to make them if you're going to hang out.
Field goal free throw is good. It was 9 of 10 from the line coming into this game. Third appearance in the Maui Invitational for Notre Dame. 93, we mentioned 2008. Of course, Chaminade has been here every year since its inception in 1984. But interesting, they will not be part of the field next year. Next year they will start sort of a rotation regarding Chaminade, where they will be in this championship bracket on an every other year basis. So it'll be a bit of a different vibe next season, but it'll also be a pretty loaded field.
San Diego State has replaced them, and Dave Odom was telling me, yeah, great move. They see the ball went from one side to the other. They cut, they got it to the middle, and were able to make a nice move. That's how they have to play this game. Dave Odom said they also helped Chaminade get 2 games on the mainland where they were going to make close to $100,000. So worked out for everybody.
Turnover there for Notre Dame. And Chaminade still hanging around here with 5:52 left to play in the first half. So that's on the left side, next year's field. No Chaminade, but you got Zona, Auburn, Duke, Gonzaga, Illinois, Iowa State, as you mentioned, San Diego State, and Xavier. So yes, it is stacked.
Absolutely loaded.
So Chaminade going over 6 minutes without a point. Somewhat weathering that storm, but a turnover there by Brett Reed, the 6'8 junior.
That's just bad business. Reed's been really good in this game. He got the last bucket, and he's been around the ball, but trying to drive against a set defender is almost impossible right now for Chaminade, other than maybe Austin Pope.
8 turnover for the Silver Swords compared to a handful for Notre Dame. Farrell goes cross-court, open 3 for Harvey, splash.
Yeah, I mean, Farrell knew before he went where he was going with that ball, and DJ Harvey, we said earlier, is going to be a pro and a star here for Notre Dame.
Hard drive by Nick Anderson.
Went away from the ball screen, pretty good. Ball screener came to Anderson's right. Defender jumped it. Anderson went left, beat everybody.
Farrell rising up from the free throw line, and he's had it going here in this first half game. Farrell now with 16 points, 6 of 7 from the field.
He no-looked him, and it was so good. He came in the middle, kind of looked off to freeze the defender, lifted up, knocked it in.
Farrell already approaching his career high. He's hit 22 twice. He's already got 16 here. We're still in the first stanza.
See, that time they drove a moving defender. Harvey came out and couldn't keep the man in front of. Hey, I want to show you this. Watch Farrell here. He comes into the lane, and right there, he looks him off. You see his head. He's freezing the defense by doing that, and he's still able to gather and get his chin towards the basket. That's a veteran move right there. So many kids have their heads down. His head was up, looked the defender off, knocked it in.
Shive will try a 3. Offensive board there by Dressler. And he was fouled prior to attempting that putback. They're going to get Gibbs on the foul, his first.
I just can't get over Mike Breen. This get up, man. He hasn't shaved in a few days.
Do you wonder if at first he had the flip-flops and then just made the late change to go to the shoes?
Told his manager here, take the beach towel. It's awesome.
Part of what makes this tournament so darn fun.
I agree.
Colliker, got it poked away by Colson. Right to Dressler, though. And they work it to Shive. Back out to Anderson, long 3.
Well, that's the shot that they want. They were able to draw help, find a step-up 3, just a little out of Anderson's range.
Chaminade not taking quite as many 3-point shots as they have in recent years.
I think as Coach Bovaert, how many would you like? He goes 25. 25 is a good number for us.
Well, they tried to go pick and roll between Farrell and Mooney, but the connection wasn't there. 3:34 left to play in the first half. Notre Dame by a dozen over the
lead guard, as you're going to see, as a senior, and he's taken Notre Dame and kind of dragged it along. Gibbs, leading scorer, has nothing, hasn't scratched yet. Bonzie Colson with 7, but Farrell has been it, really.
There was a time where the speculation was Farrell was going to transfer out of the program. Wasn't quite getting his traction under Mike Bray. And then, of course, as we mentioned, the NCAA tournament performance in 2016. And then Demetrius Jackson, who was there running the show, he decides to leave early for the NBA. You see Eric Shive knock down the jump shot. And that just opened up the door for Matt Farrell to really sort of take the reins.
And I swear, if kids just work hard, keep working, keep after it, stay with it, eventually it breaks for you. So many kids, if it doesn't happen for them in 2 minutes, they immediately want to leave or they immediately blame somebody else. Farrell just kept working. Now he's an All-American.
Colson got hit, doesn't get the bounce, but he'll shoot free throws.
Last possession, best possession of the day for Chaminade. The ball moved. Everybody held it for a 2 count. When you catch the basketball, hold it for a 2 count against an aggressive defense. Unless you know immediately where you're making a play, don't. Just hold it and something good will happen.
Eric Shive picking up that last foul, his first 6th team foul for Chaminade. Colson knocks down the free throw.
Did you see Bonzie Colson? Kids now, when you shoot a free throw, you walk up and you smack hands. There's nobody on the line, so he was faking slapping hands with people behind him and in front of him. It was beautiful.
The rest of the team was in the backcourt.
Nobody was there, but he continued on with the slap.
Exhibiting an awful lot of confidence in Bonzie Colson at the free throw line as well. Oh, the drive by Pope doesn't finish in front of the rim, however.
Great move by Coach Bovaert. He went to a little wheel action.
Gibbs yet to get in the book under the scoring column.
Tell you what, if Chaminade keeps running that kind of offense, they're going to be in decent shape. They're not going to win the game, but they're going to play it down the stretch.
Here's an offensive board by Colson. About the 3rd possession here on this trip down the floor for Notre Dame. Step back jumper by Colson. That's pretty.
Yeah, he's got that talent. That's why at 6'5" he can play against bigger, because he leans back. You can't get to it.
He's got 11. The lead is 14 here for the Irish. Largest lead of this opening frame. Under 10 to shoot. Pope with it. Here's Shive. And he rattles it home in front of the outstretched arm of Martinez Gebbin.
3 straight really good possessions. That wasn't the easiest shot. Notre Dame played good defense. But it's amazing in basketball when you share the ball, move it side to side, shots go in.
Great drop off from Farrell to Gebbin for the 2-handed flush. So Notre Dame continues to lead by double digits as they have taken a hold of
at the right time and a little slip pass. Really, really nice. That's a veteran point guard making his teammates much better.
Notre Dame shooting just under 54% from the floor, 33% for the Silver Swords. And a nice jumper by Colliker, 6'8" junior from Kaysville, Utah. Continues to provide some offense here for Chaminade.
Chaminade doesn't want offensively this half to end. They have fallen into a nice rhythm of ball movement. Now, this end isn't very easy. From this end's going to be tough, particularly when Farrell has the ball.
Oh, and that time, Farrell trying to find Gebbin on the cut. Sails out of bounds. So Chaminade will have 6.6 to try to do something with this prior to going into the locker room.
Yeah, they just need to come up and set a high ball screen. Right here, if they can get a ball screen, they can get to the rim, but nobody's up here.
Foul committed by Farrell.
Another one to give. 2 more to give, actually.
Yeah, that's only the 15th foul here for the Irish. Good awareness that time by their senior leader. his first personal. Now Austin Torres checks into the game for Notre Dame's 6'7" grad student. Could have transferred, could have entered the working world. He decided to stay for one more year of eligibility here with Notre Dame. Inbound goes to Reed, and he knocks it down prior to the buzzer from 54% in that opening half. Chaminade, meanwhile, at 37% from the field. And the Silver Swords have yet to attempt a free throw in this game.
Well, they found their offensive rhythm in the last 5 possessions of the first half by swinging the ball. They went to a little weave action. Well, it's be interesting to see if they start the second half with a little bit of handoff weave action just to move the defense a little bit before making a move.
It's an interesting set of paces in that opening half, right? It was up and down action early, pretty frenetic, and then things slowed down, and we saw it more like this, some more deliberate possessions at both ends.
And the ball is going side to side, so this is going to be a good possession regardless of the outcome. It's a little stuck right here, but at least getting it side to side gives you a chance. Should have driven the ball.
And Pope knocks down the 3.
Should have shot it.
Tried to sell the call. It was Colson closing out on him. There may have been a little bit of hand-to-hand contact. Pope knocks it down, and look at this score, Dan Duckett.
Hey, you know what? 2 threes in a row. All of a sudden, we've got a ball game.
Pfluger tries a 3. That one rolls out. Rebound off to Austin Pope.
The same thing. If you don't have it, move the ball side to side.
Walker hit a couple of 3s early. That one missed. That's his first non-3-point field goal attempt of 2017.
And the ball knew it. The ball was not going in. It knew, look, you don't deserve to make this shot.
Farrell fouled on that drive along the path of travel. Let's take another look at the Chaminade offensive end.
Show you how dumb I am. I'm saying drive it against Colson. I think he did get hit there, but you're not always going to get that call. Look at this. I mean, that is dead on. 2 off-balance 3s, 1 to end the half. Now we're blocking shots.
Pope sends that one back. And Chaminade with a chance to cut further into this 6-point deficit. Well, they had some of the momentum after that Brett Reed essentially buzzer-beating 3 off of 1 foot prior to halftime. But Pope unable to hit the turnaround.
Well, that would have been a heat check right there. That could have propelled Pope to a monster second half. This is where Colson has to get the ball. He's got to get the ball left block.
Well, rubbing off of that screen. Here's Colson. Right down the right side of that lane. That's easy picking.
Yeah, I got to imagine Mike Gray at halftime told Colson, look, middle of the floor, block, go to the rim, get fouled, stop shooting 3s, don't even look at it out there for a while.
Largest lead of the first half was 14 for Notre Dame. Here's Walker. Left it short.
Yeah, he shot that a little too quick. He rushed that.
Farrell. Got it.
Got to have your hands up. You absolutely have to have your hands up. Hands were down. Farrell read it, and that is automatic for that kid left wing.
He's got 19. And so far, Matt Farrell loving Maui. Colliker, great drop off to Shive.
Again, what did Colliker do? He held the ball, looked. He didn't just catch it and go and get off balance. He held it for a 2 count, looked, read the defense, attacked, dropped it off.
Shive leading the way for the Silver Swords. He has 9 to go along with 4 rebounds. Farrell able to pull up and able to hit again. That is 22 for Matt Farrell, and that ties his career high.
You've got to change the way you're defending him. You've got to jump on top and keep him on a side. He's too comfortable coming into the middle. We've seen it 4 or 5 times today.
Shive can't respond, and Colson gathers another rebound.
You've got him on a side. You've got to keep him on the side. Watch, he's in the middle, and he is so comfortable there.
Changed his mind in midair. Colson is fouled. Looked like he was trying to attempt to pass to Gebben. By the way, that last Farrell shot ruled a 2-pointer, so he has 21 points, not 22. Take another look.
It's just too easy. Watch, he just comes into the lane, and he is so comfortable in the middle. What you do is you jump the defender on the high side, the middle side, and just push him down. It's called pro playing it. You push him down and keep him on a side.
Colson first free throw is good. We have yet to see much from TJ Gibbs, but it's interesting because Gibbs provides for Notre Dame. Perhaps a little bit of respite in terms of the ball handling responsibilities for Matt Farrell. He can play more off the ball, maybe see his way to more shot attempts.
You know what's interesting about Farrell? Farrell plays faster than anybody. I think he plays harder than anybody, and he never looks tired.
Yeah, he just seems like the kind of guy who just wants the ball in his hands.
That's it.
As much as possible.
Absolutely.
Notre Dame back up double digits. Colliker bowls over Colson, and Colson picks up the blocking foul.
Well, again, the ball moved side to side, and then they drove a recovering defender. So Colson is moving out, a little sloppy with his feet. You can't drive a stationary defender if you're Chaminade. You can drive a recovering defender, and to get them to recover, you just have to move the ball side to side, in and out, and don't react quickly or don't drive it quickly.
John Mooney coming in. Colson picks up his first personal foul. Shot by Grant Dressler off the mark, and here come the Irish.
Mooney just comes in and does. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get a bucket here.
Farrell lobs it up. Mooney came down with it, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, he's just that guy. Yeah, Mooney will be one of those guys playing in a rec league and 50 years old, 300 pounds, and he'll go get a bucket. Look, he sets a ball screen. The ball just finds him. Farrell with a nice pass, and Mooney just knows how to go get fouled. He just knows how to play.
Mooney and Elijah Burns representing sort of the two bigs off the bench, and Mooney maybe applies a little bit more of an offensive-oriented mindset.
Yeah, Burns has really come on. Didn't play a whole lot last year, and he's made the most of his time. But this kid here can shoot it. As I said, the ball kind of finds him.
And how about Chaminade fighting amongst themselves for that rebound? And so Notre Dame able to retain the possession.
Yeah, that'll make you crazy. That's my coach's drink. Right there.
Here's Farrell out in front, being guarded by Reed.
Yeah, Reed
takes it away.
I'll tell you what, Reed is good. Farrell got a little sloppy with it. Reed has played a really good floor game.
Anderson splits the defense. Blocked on the way to the rim, but Dressler cleans it up.
Dressler's a good-looking player. Dressler stood out on the side, didn't watch. He went to the basket, found the ball.
Dressler played Division I basketball at Sacramento State before matriculating to Honolulu, Hawaii, to suit up for the Silver Swords.
This is what you're talking about. Gibbs has the ball, gives Farrell just a little bit of a respite.
Pfluger. Scoop shot not there. Tip not there. Harvey, though, handles the loose ball, and it gets stripped out of bounds. It stays here. So Chaminade got to within 6, but Notre Dame a little more breathing room at the 15-14. As 6th-ranked Wichita State rallied from down 18 in the second half to beat Cal 92-82. So those two teams are into the semifinals tomorrow, 1:30 Eastern. That's going to be 8:30 a.m. here on the west side of Maui. And we're waiting, of course, Notre Dame, Chaminade, and later Michigan and LSU.
Let me ask you a question. Shaq Morris, right? You ever seen a small guy named Shaq? Like anybody named Shaq is a mountain.
That's right.
Is a mountain.
That is a prerequisite for that name. Colson, after a couple of moves, is able to hit that shot. That is a tough jump shot to make.
I tell you, I don't know why he shot it because there was still 12 on the shot clock. But again, when he gets a little bit of lean back to him, it is a soft, nice stroke.
So the lead back to 13 here in favor of the Irish. Here's Reed. Farrell tried to chase there. Good recovery by his Notre Dame defense.
Well, I thought Reed had a layup right there.
2 seconds to shoot. Pope's going to have to pull the trigger again. That time, not the positive result. Rebound off to Colson. A poke away from behind by Pope, but it finds its way to DJ Harvey. Easy finger roll.
And he made it look easy, too. It was. Nobody got back to him. Nobody rotated over. Chaminade thought they had the ball going the other end.
DJ Harvey, the only recruit in this year's freshman class for Mike Gray.
Well, if you got to have only one, that's a pretty good one to have. He is going to be an all-league type kid.
A couple of big bodies banging with each other, and it's Shive with the short jump hook.
Well, I tell you what, Shive went at Gebbin and just kept his composure, kept his balance, lifted up. Nice jump hook, little Bill Walton jump hook.
How about Reed goes from guarding Farrell to guarding Colson, and Colson does that.
That's what we said. I guarantee you, Mike Gray said play in the middle of the floor. Bonzie Colson is so comfortable left block, so comfortable middle of the floor, and he just cannot be stopped. It's just a matter of make or miss for him.
Hope gets the step, finishes in traffic. Notre Dame quickly the other way. It's Harvey hanging on the air, and he gets fouled by Bridges.
Well, you can do a lot of things to Bonzie Colson. You can try to yank his jersey if you'd like. You can get up into him if you'd like. But all of a sudden, watch this. All of a sudden, Reed just goes away. Here's how you know a guy is a good offensive player. The great Pete Newell, who won a national championship a long time ago at Cal, told me this. He said, watch really good offensive players in traffic. They'll be the only one jumping. Colson there had guys around him, but by the time he got done making his move, he was the only guy in the air. You can tell great offensive players by simply that in traffic.
And that shot right there really exemplary of what he worked on in the offseason. As mentioned, such a great all-around talent at both ends of the floor, but he worked on that, the turnaround, the fadeaway jump shot, just little things to try to further round out his offensive package.
Well, he has to. He's not an explosive leaper. He's not a long guy. But you know what? You put a little fade on it with a little touch, and you use fakes, you use ball fakes, you can clear some space for yourself, and it's exactly what Colson does.
Has 8 points here in this second half, 19 for the game.
Zone here by Notre Dame.
10 seconds to shoot here for Chaminade. Bridges open from the corner.
Short.
Short.
Nobody rotated back.
And Gibbs lays it in for his first bucket of the game.
Yeah.
Young students used as props. Some of the dunking exhibition that went on that day as well. But that's one of the great things about this Maui Jim Maui Invitational is just how community-oriented and how interactive it is with the players and all that come out.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Chaminade really represents that. They do a great job of making sure. Last night at the banquet, people came out. It's really, really nice folks.
5 seconds to shoot here on this possession. Out of the timeout for Chaminade. Bit of a danger zone here, and they don't even get a shot attempt up.
You know, really good move by Mike Gray. Mike Gray changed and brought in Elijah Burns to defend on the block, and he did a great job of defending Shive. Shive got it, couldn't do anything with it, stuck the offense, nothing was happening.
It gives Bray some options. Certainly from a matchup standpoint, if he wants to go a little smaller, more athletic, you can bring Burns in. You could start him, move Colson over to the 5 spot. Or, of course, go with the big fella Martinez Gebbin. Farrell. That one rims out.
Well, that was really good. I mean, really good by Pope. He was on Colson. He got him off the backboard and corralled it.
And a blocking foul on Farrell. So 11:27 on the clock here in the second half. Notre Dame currently in control as the sun goes down in Maui.
Tonight, Devontae Graham, don't sleep on Kansas. They're a Final Four contender. And 2 guys at the bottom. A bit of a homer pick. I've known Brian McIntosh a long time. Northwestern got pounded the other day. And Trayvon Blewett, by the end of the year, people are going to be thinking, wait a second. Dockage said that at the beginning. Trayvon Blewett chance to be a first-team All-American.
Three ball by Colliker. Rebound to Colson.
That just came out of his hand really, really badly. Pretty good offensive set out of the timeout. Just didn't knock the shot down.
Tanoa Leahy, Dan Dockage here at Lahaina Civic Center. Quarterfinal number 3 here on day 1 of the Maui Jim Maui Invitational. LSU Michigan awaits in the nightcap, and an offensive foul called on the drive by DJ Harvey.
See, that's what I was talking about, keeping the ball on a side. You don't want to let the ball get in the middle. It got kept on a side. Defender came over, established position, really good. But when you let Notre Dame play in the middle of the court, you have a real problem.
And it appears as though they actually switched the call there. Initially, it was signaled an offensive foul, and now it looks like we got a blocking foul against Chaminade.
I think they're going to go look at it, see if he was outside, I believe, of the arc. They're going to make sure they have the foul in the right player. I don't know how you miss it. You missed the call because that is a charge. See, the cynic in me says that, that's a major conference team getting a call against a Division II team. But I like that man, DJ Karstensen, too much to say that on the air.
Ron Taberski, Bill McCarthy, rounding out the officiating crew here this evening in Lahaina.
You think that's a good call?
I'm with you. It looked like an offensive foul.
I don't know. They called offensive foul.
That was the initial signal. Chaminade thinking, hey, maybe help us out a little bit here. We're down 19.
Right.
That's the third foul on Colliker as well. Harvey hits that free throw. He was a little shaken up after the collision, so he'll go to the bench.
He goes to the bench, and he has 10 points. He's played 16 minutes.
There's a blocking foul, this time against Colson, his second.
I'm telling you, DJ Harvey is going to be a kid that just scores points for Notre Dame. I mean, he is athletic. He's big in person, much bigger in person than I saw against DePaul and watching him on tape, and has a terrific mid-range game.
You actually evoked the name Jerian Grant when talking about DJ Harvey as a projection possible.
You know, I saw Jerian Grant. He was redshirt, and I said to Mike Gray, "Who is this kid?" This is going back. It was in Orlando, and I kind of, you watch him, you think, man, he can score, and DJ Harvey can score a big shot here if they're going to stay around.
Dressler doesn't get the bounce. So they work it into Colson. And he goes to work.
Yeah, he just took Pope, right into the post, and nobody came to help out Colson too quick.
So Colson now with 21. That matches the output of Matt Farrell. 6 rebounds as well for Bonzi. Pope just not getting some of those bunnies to drop.
That's just bad luck. That was a really nice move by Pope.
Again, some patience here at the offensive end for Notre Dame. So disciplined. Gibbs for 3. Got it.
You knew it was just a matter of time that Gibbs got going. Really hasn't done anything in this game. 1 for 6 before that shot. They're getting the matchup that they want. They're getting big on little, little on big, and they're exploiting. It's what veteran teams do.
And they are blowing up this lead. 12-0 run for Notre Dame. Another defensive rebound for Colson. Farrell a little loose with the handle. Got it back somehow. Lob pass, not on the mark. And so a scramble for the loose ball. Gibbs fighting with Dressler for it, and it will be Chaminade basketball.
This is where, if you're Mike Gray, you have to come back and play tomorrow. You're going to play a good team, whether it's LSU or Michigan. That's our next game. You do not, with a 25-point lead, want to finish the last 8-9 minutes sloppy. For whatever the reason in basketball, a sloppy end carries over. You just don't want that. No matter what the score gets, you want the last 5 minutes to be played very, very well, and I promise that carries over.
Notre Dame starting off the season with a win at DePaul, then wins over Mount St. Mary's and Chicago State. Pretty lopsided fashion in both of those. But you're right, the competition is about to step up here about 24 hours from now.
Well, I've been very impressed in practice with Will Wade. I think he's got LSU where it needs to be with toughness and all that. And John Beilein, I don't think Michigan's played real well, but you don't worry about that.
There's LSU coming off of the bus. Will Wade, first-year head coach, coming over from VCU, who's in the field, so it at least presents the possibility that he might be matched up at some point if they lose in this opening round with his former program. But he's not thinking that. They're thinking about how to get a win against the Wolverines. Offensive board there, and tip in by Dressler. So Chaminade, a rare instance of being able to battle on the offensive glass.
Yeah, 3 cracks at it. Dressler came in from the weak side, but
under 8 minutes to play here. Third quarterfinal of this opening day of the Maui Jim Maui Invitational. Pfluger deep 3. And it'll be an over the back call against John Mooney. So we'll take a break at the 7:45 mark. Notre Dame up 23, as well as in the motion bracket, 23 national champions combined.
yeah, it's a fantastic event. It's going to be a one-time only deal. The courts are across the street from one another. And we're going to fly there, get in on Thanksgiving Day, and start calling some more hoops. What a blast.
Tournament one time only. The PK 80 starts Thursday.
And some special uniforms designed for the PK 80 tournament. There will be no white home traditional jerseys. It's going to be all color coordinated. Any of those jerseys stand out to you? We'll get to that in a second. What exactly is the PK 80? 2 18 brackets with 2 champions. Of course, it honors Nike co-founder Phil Knight in advance of his 80th birthday. And you got quite the field in the victory bracket. Some brand names for sure, as well as in the motion bracket. 23 national champions combined.
Yeah, it's a fantastic event. It's going to be a one-time only deal. The courts are across the street from one another. And we're going to fly there, get in on Thanksgiving Day, and start calling some more hoops. What a blast. I like the uniforms. Do you like the uniforms? I like them. I don't really have a... I like the fact that you just, take a school color and...
Good hesitation there by Eric Shive. And how about this? Chaminade is going to the free throw line for the first time this evening.
Well, they were able to break down the zone. Shive stayed opposite. Kids, if you're playing against the zone and you're a post man, stay opposite the ball, and the ball will find you if your guards can drive the zone.
And the first free throw is good from Shive. He has 12 points to go along with 5 rebounds. Transfer from Yuba College in Marysville, California. But he's a ball player. Had a 27-point, 26-rebound game at Yuba against Alameda College. And quite the story back in the summer of 2014. Went into cardiac arrest during an AAU game. There was no defibrillator nearby, so he had to be revived by 2 doctors who happened to be in the stands. He has a pacemaker for if he suffers from heart arrhythmia again. Considers himself lucky to be alive, but look at him still battling out there on the basketball court. It's a pretty wonderful story.
Yeah, and you read the articles about it. I mean, he was very lucky. 2 doctors came out of the stands. One gave mouth to mouth, revived him, and here he is.
No questioning the toughness of a guy on your roster if he's been through that kind of ordeal.
No, and you know what? He's done a good job. He's been battling, and it doesn't matter who Notre Dame has thrown at it. Now it's Gebbin, but he's just battled everyone and hasn't flinched.
Here's Farrell, deep corner, got it and one.
He came off of a double screen so hard. That is not easy. He sprinted. I mean, a dead sprint. Little screen. Here he goes. Dead sprint. He's an impressive kid in person. He is fast, he is tough, and he's got a career high of 24.
He also continues his streak of knocking down 3-pointers. Farrell in this game, 4 of 7 from out there. He has now gone 30 straight games with a made three-pointer, and how about the follow-up put-back flush by Austin Pope?
Hey, I'll tell you, he again came from the weak side, timed it up.
Here comes the Silver Swords.
I like Austin Pope. This should go in.
Walker off the mark.
Man, Walker hit his first 2 and hasn't even been close, has had nothing inside the rim.
Take another look at Austin Pope, rising above.
Shot taken from the right. If it's missed 75% of the time, it's going to go to the other side. This time it goes to the middle, and Pope timed it perfectly and went over Bonzi Colson.
Austin Pope, a good-looking player out of Burbank, California. Preseason All-Pac West Conference. Chaminade picked to finish 6th in the league. 2 other Hawaii schools in the conference. You have Hawaii Pacific University and Hawaii Hilo. There was a third, BYU Hawaii, but they actually shut down their athletic program at the end of the last athletic year.
What happened?
Just a decision made by some of the higher-ups. And they had an extremely successful basketball program and a beautiful arena up there on the north shore of Oahu, the Cannon Activity Center. So it was an unfortunate set of circumstances. Let's hope able to keep that one in bounds. See if Chaminade has any burst here remaining before the end of this one. As Walker unable to hit.
Man, tell you what, Walker was itchy to shoot. He was going to go as far back as he needed to go to get his shot off. Look at Reed. Reed's battling Colson pretty good. Little fade away. There you go.
One rattles in and out. Pope with the board. Pope doing a little bit of everything right now for Chaminade.
He's an impressive kid. He just plays skinny, but active, play anywhere on the floor.
Working into Shive. Squares up against Gebbin and knocks down the mid-ranger.
A little Jack Sigma for those of you old enough to know. A little inside pivot. Knocked it in.
Five minutes to play here in this third quarterfinal. We got a whistle away from the basketball. Tonight after Monday Night Football, stay with ESPN for SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt. He'll break down the Falcons-Seahawks matchup. Plus, he'll have an exclusive interview with Cam Newton. And on the 5-year anniversary of the butt fumble, Katie Nolan continues the countdown of the best not top plays of all time. SportsCenter at night with SVP on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Well, I'll tell you what, I watched that Katie Nolan thing. That is really, really good. And congrats to our friend SVP on his contract extension. The show is going great. And the SVP, the Johnny Carson of our generation.
As Colson knocks down a couple at the free throw line. Yeah, my favorite is where in the world is SVP? Or where in the world isn't, I guess, where you see pictures on social media posted of people that look or resemble.
There was
SVP.
Guy was here. I think I've watched so much basketball in the last 2 days, but I think a guy was here that he was showing in the early games. Where is SVP? This should go in.
It does. You called it. Rex Pfluger.
You could tell he got his left foot set, stepped in with his right, and he's about automatic on that one.
If you get any offense at all from Rex Pfluger, it's almost just a bonus because of how valuable he is at the defensive end.
Well, he's that blend guy. He guards bigger, he guards smaller, he moves his feet, he doesn't have an ego. But he's pretty athletic, and he's certainly not afraid to go get a shot.
Farrell, that was pretty athletic of a move, and he'll go to the free throw line. Foul goes against Shive. That's his second. Farrell rattles in the free throw, so he continues to build on his career performance. 26 points, 4 assists as well, 9 of 12 from the field.
Now, he's been the difference, and he's been the guy from the get-go. I mean, everybody in Notre Dame, Notre Dame came out to play a good game. I mean, they all came out, and it wasn't like they were dead early, but Farrell had a different gear to him and came out, hit a couple shots, and he almost demanded that everybody come with him.
It was a 9-point game at the intermission. Where the Irish, preseason pick to finish third in the ACC, took control. Meanwhile, Shive continues to do Eric Shive things.
He's a good player. I said yesterday at the banquet, I think this team is going to win a game. I believe that. I don't think they're going to win tomorrow because I think both of the teams are pretty good. But I do think in that third game, they will win that game, whomever it is against.
A 77-50 advantage here for 13th ranked Notre Dame over host Chaminade.
ESPN's exclusive
has led. Respect him.
Yeah, Colson and Farrell together have matched Chaminade. 50 points
That's
produced. And how about the combined 17 of 23 from the field for those two seniors?
You know what's interesting? They don't take bad shots. And that's one of the reasons they're shooting 74% between them. They just don't take bad shots. They have patience. Again, as you would expect the senior to have. What a great thing for Mike Bray to have those two guys with him as seniors. Kind of a player-taught team, player-coach team.
Harvey just inside the arc.
That's 12 in 17 minutes.
Yeah, I don't care who you're playing. You combine for 50 points, you put together that kind of efficiency. It's impressive.
There's no question.
Here's Gibbs out and running. Got fouled there by Dressler. And with 3:04 left to play, Matt Gregory gets set to check in for Notre Dame.
That was really the last possession by Chaminade was really the first possession where it looked like there was some give up in there. There was miscommunication.
Well, with Farrell and Colson putting on the offensive show that they have, TJ Gibbs hasn't necessarily needed to put together a big scoring game. Goes 1 of 2 from the line there. He's got 7. He did come into this game averaging 17 points. Good enough for second on the team.
Yeah, he started right away, too, against DePaul with 24. He was terrific. And really hasn't slowed down tonight a little bit. But
nice little smooch off the glass there. Austin Pope continues to improve his stat line.
Yeah, let's talk about Pope for a second. Austin Pope, as we knew going into the game, was the leader, was the guy, but he's even more impressive in person. Again, he's guarded a variety of people, including Colson, including Farrell. He has played offensively against zone, man-to-man, everything else. He's been terrific.
A nice two-man game there, exhibited by Gibbs and Austin Torres. So more subs coming in here for Notre Dame. Liam Nelligan, 6'5" senior, added to the roster as a walk-on. Out there on the floor, you see Matt Gregory. Also Nikola Jogo, number 13, out there for the Irish.
Again, I think Nikola Jogo is going to have a real say in this Notre Dame season. Watching him yesterday in practice, he led the team. He plays point guard on the second team. I think he's going to be really good for Notre Dame.
Couple of subs out there for Chaminade as well. Massa Swain and Elliott Donnelly. The runner in the lane by Nick Anderson got the friendly bounce.
Nick Anderson took a little look at the clock, said, if I give it up, I'm not getting it back, so I'm going to the rim.
Under 2 minutes to go. So Notre Dame, after this, will await the winner of LSU Michigan. And I think the expectation is that's going to be a pretty competitive ball game.
I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be really good.
Open three for Gregory, rims in and out. The follow not there from Jogo. That would have been right on cue.
I'm telling you, he is impressive. He reminds you, he's not as good. I get on. He reminds you of a little Manu Ginobili. He plays downhill. He plays fast. He's athletic, as you just saw. And he'll make. Nope.
A little long there on the 3 try. That jump shot off the mark from Elijah Burns. So Notre Dame taking care of business here, and here's Jogo out in front. Misses the two-handed jam. Pollard can't hit. And a whistle will go against Chaminade as the LSU Tigers waiting in the wings.
Jogo got ahead of everybody. Cocked it back. Sometimes when you just get in the game, just dunk it. You know what I mean? Here he is yesterday at Black Rock.
Well, you talk about having those sea legs, or island Maui legs.
Yeah, just dunk it and hang on the rim. The next one you can go ahead and cock it behind your head, something like that.
Maybe a little too much jumping off of Black Rock for Jogo yesterday.
I still like him. I think he's going to be really good.
Finger roll not there. Pollard gets hacked on the arm on the way up. So Nate Pollard will go to the free throw line.
All right, he was a dance champ last night. He was the guy, 7 feet tall, 7'1", took off his shirt, and better at dancing maybe than free throws. He was good last night dancing. He beat out McDuffie from Wichita State. McDuffie took his boot off. He's not playing in the tournament, but man, was he dancing.
0 for 2 from the line. That was just the 3rd and 4th free throw attempts in this game for the Chaminade Silver Swords. Notre Dame leading 83-54.
Oh, you got to shoot that. I mean, you have to shoot that if you're Gregory. You've got to shoot this. He has to shoot.
Looking off the heel.
He had to shoot that. You cannot come in as a walk-on and not shoot. He has to shoot this. Good.
Also, Swain ran into a swarm of Notre Dame defenders.
Hey, let me tell you something. Swain, for the rest of his life, is going to have a stat in a game against Notre Dame. But look, you're a walk-on. You come in. What's the coach going to do? Bench you? You know what I mean? You just shoot.
They get it into Swain again, and he puts it up and in. So he's got that statistic in the book as well.
There you go. I got a bucket that had played me. I only played 2 minutes. Got a bucket.
And so Notre Dame will walk it out. 83-56 will be the final score.